So now let's have an example in code for inheritance. Do you see my screen?
Yep, I do, yeah.
Okay, great. So here I will create a new package. Okay, I will call it inheritance. And in this inheritance package, I will create a new class. I will call it person. Okay. So here we have person class, and we need to put some properties and functions in this class. So for now, I will put string name. Okay. And address. Okay. And I will create two functions. I will say public void say hello. Hello, my name is the name. Is that enough? I think it's enough.
Yeah.
And now we will create another class. I will call it students. So in this class, I will, put another property. I will call it student ID. Okay. But now this student, okay, is an independent class. I want now to create the inheritance relationship between student and person, because the student at the end is a person. So I want student to inherit person. How to do it? Like the same as I showed you a while ago, using the extends keyword in our student class. We'll put extends and then person. Okay. Once I added this line, you can see here I can access, sorry, uh, look, say hello, look. This say hello exists in person, not in student. And here it's accessible for me. Also for like create a student constructor. Look, I can access name equal um, Michael. This name it doesn't exist in student, but it exists in person. But since student extends person, so all fields in person like name, address, and this say hello function, it's accessible from student. Okay. But if I go to person, I cannot here access student ID like here. If I uh, in person constructor here, if I try to access student ID, okay, it shows me an error. Why? Because parent cannot see the characteristics in child. Like, like it makes sense. Like father doesn't, inherit characteristics from his children, but the opposite happens. The opposite, like the children, they are the one who inherit characteristics from their parents. You understand? So
Mhm.
here, student ID, it exists in student. Student is a subclass of the person. Here in person, this student ID cannot be accessed. You understand?
Awesome.
Okay. Here in the person class, I will just put print statement. I will say person create. Okay. Okay. So here, you know, inheritance name. Here I will put my main methods. Okay. And I will create a new student object. I will call it student equal new student. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here using this student object, I can access here, as you can see, all fields that exist in person plus all fields that exist in students. So here I can say hello, I can set address, I can access student ID, and so on. Okay. Here I will just call say hello. And if I run my code, let's see what. Look, person created and then hello, my name is Michael. Where did we get this person created? We got it from here, from our person class. We didn't call the person class. So how did we get this statement printed?
On my inheritance.
Like, do you see here any person object?
No,
No, but you see student object.
because it's an
And
inheritance.
and the student, yes, student is a child of person. So once we create an object from this child class called student, okay, again we get the constructor of the parent class also called. So now that's why we got person created. Okay. Again, here in our constructor, student constructor, we set the name to Michael, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so here in our main method, when we called student.sayHello, Here in our student class, the method say hello is calling say hello in person. So this say hello, okay, says hello, my name is name. Where did we get the name? Like as you can see here in the person class, we didn't set a value for the name, right?
Yeah.
We did it in the student constructor, but we got the behavior, okay, of say hello from the person class. So here, say hello, said hello, my name is Michael. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here, if I create now person, call it person equal new person. Here from the person object, can I access the student ID?
Mhm.
Do you see the student ID here accessible?
No.
No, because the student ID only, uh, only exists in a student, not in person. So here we have only the members of the person class. We have name, we have address, we have say hello. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. So now I will delete this function from the student. I will uh, create another function, a public void display address, and I will create another method. I will call it display student ID. My student ID is student ID. Yeah, this one is void. Okay, so let's go back to our main method. Okay, I will set an address to this person. Okay, and I will set name to this person. And finally, I will, you know, say And of course, I cannot call display address or display student ID from person. I should do it using the student ID. Understand?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here, if I run my code, I will get the same behavior, but from the person object. Hello, my name is coding person. Okay, great. Now I want to use a student object to set address. Address to. Remember that student class doesn't have an address or name, has only student ID, but it get all these fields from its parent, the person class. Okay, so if student equal simple student ID equal then student dot display student ID student dot display address. Let's run our code. So hello person created. Hello, my name is Michael. Uh, person created. My name is Cody. My student ID is this one, and my address is this one. Okay, so is it clear to you?
It's pretty clear.
Okay, great.
I think it is.
So, you have any questions?
Hmm, can you just do a run through of what we did? Can you just do like a summary, like of just explanation of what, like, if anything I missed? I think I got it clear though.
Like you want a summary for what we just did?
Yeah, I think I understand though. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay, like first of all, we create a class called person. We put two fields, name and address, inside this person. Okay, here in the constructor, we just print a statement called person created. Okay, and we put a function called say hello. This say hello, say hello, my name is, and then it display a name. Okay, in the student class, we create a class called student. We put integer of student ID. Okay, and then we want to make the inheritance relationship between student and person. So we made student extends person class. Once we did that, we can access the data members of person inside the student. So now we had the access of name, address, and the say hello. We have access to say hello. Like all members in the person class, okay, we can access from the student class.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in our main method, when we created object of the student and object of the person, okay, we just access the members, like using the person object, we access only the members of the person class, okay, but using the student object, we access both the members of the person class and the members of the student class, like the student ID. Then here
Okay.
we are trying to display this output or these values. Okay, so when I run my program, I get this result. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's very clear now. It's
okay,
clear now.
great. But as you can see, like in my class, like person, okay, I don't set any value to name or address, right? So I have to do it here like this way, like using the object, I call address and I give it a value, I call name and I give it a value. Again, in the student class. Okay, I just set one name, Michael, in the constructor. Okay, and that's it. I don't set also address or student ID. Also here, all uh, like value for all objects of student, the name will always be Michael. What if we have some other names for some other objects? Like what if here I want to create student one equal new student. What if I say student one dot say hello? Again, I will get the same result. My name is Michael. Look, I want to change this. So from our previous experience, how to do this?
Hmm.
You don't know?
Change it. You change it through. Change what exactly?
I
Just
want to
change.
give values. I want to give values to all these fields every time I create a new object at the time of object creation. What I'm gonna do?
Um, I guess make a for loop or something.
No, but I will use a constructor to set
Okay.
values to these fields, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, great. So here in my person constructor, instead of calling this person created, I will take parameters called string name, okay, and string address, okay. And here, when the person is created, I will say this dot name equal name, and this dot address equal address. This way, I can be sure that every time I create a new person, I should give a value for his name and his address. Understand? Now it
Yeah.
gives me a problem because I already created a person object without passing these values in the constructor. So here now I have arguments to pass in this constructor. So instead of person.name equal Cody, I just cut, paste here. And as you can see, there is a label name, okay, in front of Cody, and address one here as arguments in the constructor. And we have label name and label address. So I can now delete these lines and I can get exactly the same result. Now we have a problem. Do you know what the problem is?
Uh, the person class.
Do you know what's the problem?
Um, empty parameters. Empty parameters.
Listen, you remember when we called this student object, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we called the person constructor called, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we got this person created statement printed here on the screen, right?
Right.
So every time here I create a student object, it will call automatically what the constructor of its parent class, which is person class. You understand?
Yeah.
Before we had no problem doing that because we had, empty constructor or no argument constructor in the person class. Okay? So it had no problem calling the person constructor every time we create an object of the student. But now we are trying to create a new object of the student class, which will also call the constructor of the person class. But now this person constructor needs argument that is not passed here in the student class or the student constructor. You understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's repeat. Here, in this line, I'm creating a new student object. Okay, we already tried and we noticed that once we create an object of the student class, automatically the constructor of the person class got created. Okay, or
Mhm.
get called. This person constructor before, okay, it had no requirements. Like there is no, parameters needed for this constructor to work or to run. Okay, so we have no problem. But now we need every time we call the person constructor, like this line number 8, we should pass a name and an address to this person constructor. You understand?
Yeah, you gotta do both of them,
Yeah,
right?
we should every time we call this person constructor, we should give a name and an address. But now in this line number 6, we are trying to call the constructor of the person class, but without giving a name nor an address. So
Okay.
it gives you an error. It says, no, you are trying now to call this person constructor without giving it the needed values to get executed. Do you know how
I
to
see.
solve? Do you know how to solve this issue?
Um, with that method made with the method.
Have you heard about the super keyword?
Oh, the super keyword.
So here in my student constructor, I should pass exactly the same arguments as the person class, which is parent class. So here I will copy and paste. Okay, and then I will say super name and address. You understand?
The super. Okay, I never heard of the super before.
Like here, student
Mhm.
constructor. Now it get exactly the same arguments, name and address. Okay, so now in the main method, every time we create a student object, we should also pass a name like here, pass George, and we pass address. Address with Okay, so here student constructor that will automatically call the person constructor already has the needed values, okay, to call the person constructor, okay? And here inside this person constructor, it calls the person constructor using the super keyword. So super keyword is a keyword in Java where we can access the super class from the child class. You understand?
Yeah. Super is the student class.
Super here refers to the person class. Like
Okay.
here, when I click on super, it redirects me to the person constructor. Why? The person is the parent class of the student class. So here inside the student class, I can refer to the parent person using the super keyword. You understand?
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
this one is useless. Okay. I can add one more here parameter to this constructor, which is the student ID. Student ID. Here, as you can see, our parent class doesn't need the student ID. So this student ID only exists here in this student class. So we will set the student ID here in the constructor equal student ID. And yeah, we will put here student ID. Again, here we have another student called student1 who will pass a different name, address, and student ID. Here, like student ID, student name, and applet. Address. Oh, and student ID. So yeah, here if I run my code, look what I get. Person created, okay, because the person constructor is called. Then I get hello, my name is George. That is the first student name here. Okay. Then another person is created. His name is called. This one is created using the person object. Okay. Yeah, I want to delete this one because it's useless. And I run back my code and I will get the same. So yeah, one rule that we didn't mention in our presentation is that each child constructor should get the same arguments of their parent constructor. Like here, if this person constructor has name and address, so this name and address should be also passed as an argument to all the children of person class. Like here in the student. We have the ability to add like more additional uh, arguments to our student constructor. But the mandatory one is the name and address to be exactly the same as the parent person constructor. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do this using the super keyword.
Okay.
Okay, great. You have question?
Super. Okay. I think I understand. I think I understand.
You think you understand? Do you have any doubt about any information we mentioned today?
No, it's pretty straightforward. I understand the concept of it.
Okay, look. This one is what type of inheritance? Like we had 3 types of inheritance, right?
Yeah.
This one, we have only one parent and one child. What is this type of inheritance called? It's called single.
Single. Yeah, single.
Okay, what about the hierarchical? Like here, we have parent called person and child called student. We can have another child called, for example, employee. And this employee can also extend person, right?
Right.
And it takes name and address. So this one is, you know, hierarchical inheritance. Okay, what if we want multi-level inheritance? Like we want grandchild of the person class. We can make a new class. I will call it college student. And this class, I will make it extends students. And then I will here create a constructor for the college student. Okay, that match this one. So here we have employee extends person. So employee acts as if it's a brother to the student. Okay. And we have college student extends student. So here student is the parent of college student, but it's the child of person. This one called multi-level. But now I cannot put student extends person and extends employee. As we just said, child can has only one parent, not two. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions,
How do
ask me.
you how does employee get student information?
Employee never get student information. They just share the person information, which are the name and address.
Oh, you can extend
Brothers,
person.
yeah, brothers and sisters doesn't